Hi everyone, it's Whitney. Welcome to Whitney V Power Yoga. Today we're going to be starting with a short warm-up. This is something that I would normally teach in the beginning of my classes. So you can combine this with any other workout, another yoga video, or just do it on its own. So to start, come to a comfortable seat, sit up nice and tall. Start to gently close your eyes. Try to relax any tension you may be holding in your face. We'll start this practice with 3 breaths together. So the first 2, you're going to deeply inhale through your nose and then exhale out through your mouth. And on the 3rd breath, inhale through the nose and exhale out through the nose as you keep your mouth closed. Starting with a deep inhale through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. Another breath just like that. Deep inhale through your nose and exhale out through your mouth. 3rd breath together, inhaling again through the nose and exhaling out through the nose as you keep your mouth closed. Take a few more breaths in your comfortable seat. And on your next inhale, start to gently open the eyes. Make your way into a child's pose. So to come into child's pose, you'll bring your knees to the edges of your mat. This is going to be a wide seat. Bring the big toes to touch behind you. Start to let the seat drop towards the heels. Just go back as far as you can, as far that's comfortable, so you don't have to be as far back as I am. And then you'll extend your fingertips all the way towards the front edge of the mat, so the arms will get long. And then allow the forehead to drop to the mat. Maybe you can crawl your fingertips out just a little bit more. Take some time to feel connected to your mat. Take a deep breath, inhale, and exhale. And remember that your child's pose is like your home base. You can always return to this pose at any point during the practice when you feel like you may need a moment for yourself, or your breath is getting a little choppy, maybe the sequence is getting a little too strenuous. Whatever it may be, this is always an option. And with my first child's pose, I like to give my forehead a gentle massage once I get here. And to do that, you can just roll your head to the right and then roll it to the left, nice and slow. Maybe do it a few more times if it feels good. And then bring the head back to center. Start to curl your fingertips towards the right edge of your mat. Bring your left hand, place it on top of the right, and then bring the forehead back to the mat. You'll feel a gentle stretch through the left side of your body. Take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Begin to crawl the fingertips back through center and then make their way to the left side of the mat. So you'll take your right hand this time, place it on top of the left. Forehead comes back between the arms, connecting to the mat. You'll feel that gentle stretch through the right side of the body this time. Take another deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Fingertips coming back to the center of the mat. Maybe walk them out just a little bit further. Take a few more breaths in your child's pose. On your next inhale, slowly start to come out of your child's pose. And you'll come into a tabletop position on your hands and knees with a flat back. Just pay attention to where your body is when you come into this pose. So look down at your knees, make sure that they line up underneath the hips. Wrists will line up underneath the shoulders. Firm up through the shoulders and the tops of the arms. Spread the fingers nice and wide, make big palm prints with the hands. Look down towards your mat. Back of the neck will be long, an extension of your nice long spine. Create a little bit of engagement in the core by pulling the low belly in. And on your inhale, begin to come into a cow pose. Lift your chest, drop your belly, lift your chin. Exhale, cat pose, round the spine, drop the crown of the head. Inhale, back to cow, lift the chest, drop the belly. Exhale, cat, round the spine, drop the crown of the head. And then continue to flow through these two poses on your own using your breath. So you can move as slow as you like here. You're moving at your own pace. And then start to bring some additional movement into the body. So you're going to come back to tabletop and then bring the hips to the right, bring the hips to the left. So it's kind of like if you're a dog, just like wagging your tail. And then take your hips around in a circle. So we're going to go to the right first. Bump the hips all the way to the right. Then you're going to bring the hips back towards your heels and then all the way around to the left and forward to tabletop. And then let's do it again. You can flow at your own pace. Come back to tabletop and go to the left. So bump the hips all the way to the left, bring them back towards the heels, take that big circle to the right, forward again, make your way to the left, come back around. One more. Find tabletop again. Let's take one more cat and cow. Inhale, lift the chest, drop the belly. Exhale, cat, round the spine, drop the crown of the head, and then come back to your tabletop position, flat back. We're going to start to bring some fire into the belly. So engaging the core, getting those abdominal muscles ready for the rest of our practice. This position will be called hovering tabletop. It's going to be exactly like what you're doing now. The only difference is that you're going to lift your knees about 1 to 2 inches above the mat. So literally a hovering tabletop position. As you come into this pose, just keep in mind that you want to keep the tops of your feet planted on the mat as you lift the knees. So on your next inhale, begin to lift the knees, firm up through the tops of the arms and the shoulders, pull the belly in. So you're really going to feel this through your belly. If you start to shake a little bit, totally normal. Keep breathing. Inhale and exhale. One more breath here. Inhale and exhale. Gently lower the knees. Come back to child's pose. Hips come back, seat comes back towards the heels. Extend the fingertips all the way out. Forehead connects to the mat. Let's bring a stretch into this pose, an additional stretch. So you're gonna bring your hands together in a prayer, and then start to lift the prayer up. Keep the elbows anchored on the mat, and then draw the prayer back behind the head towards the top of the neck. So that point where the neck and the back of the head connect. And then slowly walk those elbows out just a little bit more if you want more of a stretch through the triceps and the shoulders. If this is uncomfortable in any way, just return back to child's pose with the arms extended out in front of you. Continue to breathe here. Just relax into it. And then start to remove your hands and bring them back towards the front of the mat. Extend the arms out. On your next inhale, make your way back to tabletop, hands and knees. Extend the right leg back behind you. Come to the ball of the foot. Take a gentle stretch through the back of the right leg. You're going to rock between the tip of the big toe and the ball of the foot. Go nice and slow here. There's no rush to move through this. Do it a few times. This should feel really good. And then come to hold back at the ball of the foot. And on the next inhale, lift the right leg up. The right heel is going to be even with the right hip. Flex your toes. So toes are pointing down towards the mat. Now extend the left arm out in front of you, palm facing in, thumb facing up. This is a spinal extension pose. Engage your belly by pulling that belly button in. Inhale. On the exhale, begin to bend the elbow, bend the knee, and draw them in towards each other as you come into a cat pose. So very similar to what we did a little bit earlier. Inhale, extend back out, reach out. Exhale, elbow to knee, round the spine. One more time. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee, round your spine. And then inhale, extend one more time. And on the exhale, come back to your tabletop position. Let's take a little break from being on the knees and on your hands. Come into a hero pose. You're just gonna sit all the way back towards the heels, sit up nice and tall. If there's any discomfort in this pose, sometimes the quads are a little tight, you can always take a block if you have one, or maybe if you don't have a block, you can use a pillow, just something to prop your seat up on. And just take the block, put it underneath you, and sit up on the block. This is a lot more comfortable. Lift the shoulders up towards the ears, and then roll them down the back. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lift the shoulders. Exhale, roll them down the back. On your inhale, lift your fingertips all the way up towards the ceiling. Reach up as far as you can. Nice and long through both sides of the body. And then slowly lower the fingertips down behind you. Bring them towards your heels. The center of the chest will naturally lift towards the ceiling as you do this. Maybe you want to puff it up just a little bit more. This is kind of like a slight back bend. Lift the chin, take a breath. Inhale and exhale. Okay, if you're sitting up on a block, remove the block. And then come back to your tabletop position, hands and knees. We'll do the left side. So extend the left leg back behind you this time. Come to the ball of the foot. Take that gentle stretch by rocking between the tip of the big toe and the ball of the foot. So move at your own pace here. You're just stretching out the back of the leg. And then come to hold at the ball of the foot. On your inhale, lift your left leg up. So that foot will be even with the left hip. Flex your foot, toes point down towards your mat. Extend your right arm out in front of you this time. Thumb facing up, palm facing in. Inhale. On your exhale, elbow comes to knee, round the spine. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee, round. One more time. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend one more time. On your exhale, come back to tabletop. From your tabletop, you're going to tuck your toes and then lift your hips to come into your first down dog. So the seat comes all the way up. Lift the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Maybe you walk your hands out a little bit. You can pedal out through the feet, lift one heel, then the other. Maybe put a deep bend in the knees, draw the knees towards the belly. And then start to allow the heels to descend down towards the mat. So if they don't come all the way down to the mat, that's totally fine. Mine don't come down to the mat. My hamstrings are a little bit on the tighter side. But just try to let them come down as much as they'll go down. You'll spread your fingers here again, just like you did in tabletop. Big palm prints. Look back towards your feet. Pull your low belly in. Take a deep breath in your down dog. Inhale. And exhale. Start to take little steps up towards your hands. So you can bend your knees. Come into a ragdoll pose. So ragdoll is like a forward fold if you've done that before. You're going to keep your knees really bent. Allow your belly to rest on top of the thighs. Crown of the head hangs down. So you're folding over your legs. No tension in the back of the neck. Imagine the head is like a heavy bowling ball, just pulling everything down with it. Take your hands, place them on the elbows, create a little hammock with the forearms, and then just slowly rock from side to side. Try to release some of that tension from the low back. You can kind of bend your knees as you do this. Like one might come forward as you move from one side to the other. Let's do it a few more times. And come back to center. Release the hands from the arms, bring them back to the mat. On your inhale, straighten your legs as much as you can. So you're coming into a forward fold. If your hands aren't touching the mat, no worries. You can take your blocks, place them underneath your hands. So you can do this height, or maybe you need them to come up a little bit taller, whatever works for you. So I'll show you how to do this on the top height. You just place the hands on the blocks and fold over the legs. On your next inhale, bring your hands to your shins. Lift your head up. You're going to come into an L shape here. So this is extending the spine. You're looking down towards your mat. Pull your belly in. And on the exhale, come back to that forward fold. On your next inhale, begin to roll up nice and slow, coming up to stand, making your way into mountain pose. Stand up nice and tall, ground yourself through both feet, and on your inhale, lift your fingertips up as you come into your tall mountain pose. So in tall mountain, you're reaching all the way up, kind of similar to how we did in hero pose when we were sitting on the knees. Pull the belly in, reach up, maybe lift the chest just a little bit, mini back bend, don't go back too far. Inhale and exhale, swan dive down, come through a flat back. You can bend your knees. Bring the hands back to the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back again. Pull the belly in, remember that L shape. Exhale, come back, forward fold. Now from here, you're just gonna step back to your down dog. Take a deep breath in your down dog. Inhale and exhale. From down dog, lower the knees to the mat. Come back to your comfortable seat. We're done with our warm-up. Sit up nice and tall. We'll just take a few moments here to center at the end of the practice. Close your eyes again. We'll take one deep breath together. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. Bring the palms of your hands together in a prayer at the center of the chest. And lift the thumbs up towards the third eye. That's the space between the eyebrows. Let the knuckles of the thumbs connect to that space. I want to thank you for joining me today, sharing your practice with me and with everyone who practices on this channel. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care of yourself. Namaste.